People, my people, it's your girl, Dr. 𝐓𝐘ole here, bringing you another trending topics and takeaways segment. Again, we want to celebrate Black History Month, so make sure that you check out my video on Dapper Dan, because I gave a really nice breakdown as it relates to his life, history, and impact on the culture, and the full circle moment where his gift clearly made room for him. And I think that there's a connection that Monique and many of us can have a great takeaway if we listen to it and kind of tune in. So with that being said, I have to say that I am so thankful to all of my subscribers, new and old. Thank you for jumping in the paint with me as I'm building out my channel. My segment, according to Katt Williams, is now at 1.8, 1,800 views, and I'm very excited about that. So thank you so much. Thank you for your comments. I'm enjoying the discourse that we're having in the comments section, and please continue to watch. And don't forget to subscribe. So Monique and the interview that she had on Club Shay. Of course, this is now the couch that everybody wants to be on. I had a different perspective, and I'm always trying to come with a different perspective as it relates to some of these trending topics, because I feel as though this is a time in our society where I know I want to be a contributor from a positive lens and landscape, and not necessarily always focusing in on the negativity. But the one piece that I wanted to speak about is apology. There is a consistent theme where Monique has talked over a decade about desiring an apology from Oprah Winfrey, from Tyler Perry. She did receive one from Lee Daniels, and most recently she received an apology from Charlemagne the God, where he made himself donkey of the day on The Breakfast Club, when Jess Hilarious brought some things to the forefront on that platform that needed to be corrected. And for that, I can celebrate and appreciate and respect that position. But one thing that I want to talk about as it relates to apologies, Shay asked Monique a very poignant question. How is your relationship with your son? And she did say that she would have to leave that situation to the universe for healing, because time, to paraphrase, would be the ultimate healer in that case. So I want to say this to all of us from a position of self-care and motivation. When we are fighting certain things in our life year after year after year, and it may be something new that happens, or it may be an old wound, when we are consistently in a fight with something in the natural or in the spiritual, those fists are closed. But when we release the tension and the pain and the hurt from that experience, your hands are open to receive what God may have for you. So I just want to put this out on the table for consideration. Again, all of the content that's discussed on my channel is alleged, and it is purely opinion-based. And if there's anything that can be referenced, I always note my sources from established publications. But this is just another sister out here bringing a little revelation that I've received on a topic that I think and I hope can help all of us. So with that said, did it stop? Go ahead. Oh, never mind. My camera person is on point. I just, got a little nervous. Anyway, what I want to say is, oftentimes, if we don't sweep around our own front door first and get that situation cleaned up, we are blocking our blessings for new things to come to us. I really feel for Monique, because she is coming from a place of pain and wanting to heal and move on. But there appears to be something that is blocking her from doing so. Now, would I be hot as fish grease if I felt like I was owed to the tune of millions upon millions? Absolutely. But I also know that once we release certain feelings and let go of certain hurts and pains in our lives, that we can get a blessing that's even bigger than the original offense. What do I mean by this? I simply mean there are rules of engagement in every industry. You can choose to play by the rules of engagement, whether they're written or unwritten. But if you choose to play or expect a result of rules of engagement that are not legally binding, it's a 50-50 shot that you can be on the winning or losing end of that particular engagement. You had an opportunity, potentially, to market and promote a movie without a contractually binding agreement. Of course, as Monique mentioned in her interview, no one could sue me because I fulfilled my obligation and my contractual obligation with Lee Daniels by doing the movie Precious, and she was paid for services rendered. The other component to promotion was not legally binding, so being able to walk away from that respectfully, she could do it. But there's a pivotal moment that could have taken place here. Rules of engagement, not written, going on that tour and sowing seeds for a future because you're seeing the bigger picture. One option. The other option, staying home and electing to be with family, is the option that was selected. Again, all decisions have consequences, but it's how you choose will basically show you what benefits you will reap as a result. Now we have a situation where there's bad blood with other individuals who have influence, who have power. I think that when you understand the rules of engagement and you make certain decisions, no matter how it turns out, you have to be able to walk away from that situation with peace and standing 10 toes down on your decision and not expecting anything else from anyone else that was involved. But the carrier pigeon, the message that is being missed here, you have to accept the collateral damage of your decisions, even if it's a bad decision. Now, I think that there's power in some of the things that Monique is saying if there was a different position she had taken about being vocal. And again, this is purely my opinion. Much like a Dapper Dan who had a gift of fashion and impacting the culture, even though he may have had some legal trouble, even though some of his operations may have been shut down, he had a gift that people wanted, and he continued to operate in that gift until his defining moment came when the same luxury houses he may have had a challenge with in the past utilized some of his intelligence. I forgot, the word is escaping me right now, but when you have intellectual property based on things that you've created, that gave him leverage to come to the table because what he had created over the years from the 80s and the 90s was viable and could be leveraged into a contractual deal, which is now garnering money. Full circle moment. Had he complained and moved in a different way instead of just focusing on his art form, perhaps that circle moment may not have come. So I say that and flip it back to Monique. She clearly had a gift. She won an Oscar. That's money in the bag. But because she did not agree with the rules of engagement, she made a different decision. Perhaps how that decision was handled throughout the decade plus that she's talking about it did not work in her favor. I think she's produced some receipts. But the difference is I think her position would have been more powerful if she came from a place of, I'm going to continue to work in my gift. Maybe I'm going the independent route. Maybe I am starting my own company, which would be independent. Getting some financing, which would have been difficult to do if people are putting salt on your name, allegedly, which I understand. But being able to take that space by storm and then leveraging the opportunity for when your full circle moment comes and then taking it to another trajectory. God will take a remnant, and if you operate in that truth, he can take the very thing that was rejected and make you the chief cornerstone. But it takes time and patience, and sometimes it takes being quiet. So I appreciated how Monique presented on the Club Shay couch. I love the fact, as a former history teacher, that she brought up Claudette Colvin, who was the first to sit in the back of the bus. But because the NAACP did not find her to be a viable candidate to represent the movement, and that's why there was a pivot to Rosa Parks, I appreciated her bringing that historical fact up. I appreciated the fact that she mentioned the young lady who wrote for Saturday Night Live and was paid, I believe, what she mentioned in a few Coca-Cola cans and I think some peanuts or some type of trail mix, if you will, but not monetary. There's so many stories of inequality in payment across industry lines, that being a voice rooted in history and speaking truth to power based on that history would have been a much better approach from a political, social, cultural standpoint, paying homage to those who had been suffering so long before and how it is so still relevant in this current day experience. Talking about that, but still producing quality in your craft would have gone a lot further, in my humble opinion. But I'm glad that Monique got voice on Club Shay in a way that could be received. But now the ricochet and the collateral damage and responding back to individuals that you had commentary about, I think is taking away from what was so profound on that couch. And we're going down another rabbit hole of what took place 13 years or so before. So the takeaway, my people, sometimes you will get more by being quiet and operating in your gift and waiting for that appointed full circle moment where everything that man could not give you, if you believe, your faith and God can restore it for you. So I hope you can appreciate this takeaway. I hope you can appreciate some of the Black history facts. And again, I hope you enjoy. Click like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.